The other day when I sat down for my daily journaling, I realized something. It's been almost 10 years since I started dating. 10 years. Like, where does the time go? Now, that realization in itself probably isn't very interesting, but what is interesting is that upon realizing that, I took some time to reflect on the time that's passed, and my normal one-ish page of journaling turned into 5 pages. Despite the messiness of those 5 pages, it did bring me a lot of clarity. So, in short, I realized the important role that dating has played in my life. So much that I don't even really know who I would be had I not had those experiences, because those lessons have not only been valuable in dating, but in all areas of my life. It's taught me about understanding and acceptance and listening and change and vulnerability and honesty and communication and commitment and trust and intuition and priorities and letting go. And that's a pretty long list of some pretty important things. So when I first started dating, it was pretty superficial. I like you, you like me. There was a butterfly situation going on, so let's be together, that sort of thing. And there wasn't exactly a bigger picture, although at the time you, of course, think that there is. And that's not to say that young love isn't real, it may very well be, but it's more of a rapid fire rather than a slow burn, which when you grow older, you realize is not a good thing because a rapid fire can quickly get out of control and everything will end in ashes. As a teen, that might sound exciting, but as the years pass by, you realize that it's not. You start to realize that there is more to a relationship than love, and that no matter what the movies may tell you, love is not enough. Love does not automatically translate into compatibility. In fact, some people may feel love very deeply, yet lack every ounce of compatibility there is. It's the whole, as long as we love each other, it'll all work out. Well, no, probably not. In fact, I believe that's a toxic mindset, and quite frankly, it's pretty terrible advice. And I do think that's one of the reasons why a lot of people stay in doomed relationships. We use it to excuse inexcusable behavior. And that is, by the way, another thing that I've learned, how easy it is to fall into the habit of excusing someone's bad behavior and to ignore red flags. And it's not always out of love. Sometimes it's because we don't want to face the truth. As Oscar Wilde wrote, the truth is rarely pure and never simple. But then again, and I quote Aldous Huxley, facts do not cease to exist because they are ignored. Facing the truth can be a scary thing to do, but I've realized that it's the only option. And if you struggle to know the truth, let your intuition guide you. I wrote a post about this on my Patreon page where I wrote that trusting my gut has been one of the biggest lessons of 2019 because it's always spoken the truth when I haven't known how to. Now, facing the truth and getting out of emotional denial is one thing, but actually dealing with that truth is a whole other thing. So let's say you come to the conclusion that your relationship is not going to work out and that you should get out of there. So it's all crystal clear to you. And sometimes ending things can be fairly easy, and other times it can seem almost impossible. Now, there can be a million reasons for why a person doesn't leave a doomed relationship, but one of the common reasons for staying is out of fear of being alone. And oftentimes, that fear exists because we've let ourselves get lost in someone else's world instead of focusing on having our own, where we have made that person our whole life instead of a part of our life. See, I don't believe in the whole becoming one with your significant other, but rather I believe in mutual partnership. So making someone else your everything is not romantic. It's just unhealthy for everyone involved because you will be depending on someone else for your fulfillment and happiness. And in saying that someone else is your everything is pretty much saying that you and your life in itself is nothing. You know, we've all heard the saying, you have to be whole on your own first. And although it might sound cliche, it's true. You know, you need to be your own person. And so, what does that mean? To me, it kind of goes hand in hand with independence, meaning that you are capable of thinking and acting and feeling without relying too much on someone else. Now, that does not mean that you don't seek out advice or help from other people. Not at all. I encourage that. I do that all the time. But you shouldn't live through someone else. And it's also about having your own interests and your own hobbies and your own dreams. Now, these are just some of my reflections based on my experience. It's essentially my journaling notes, somewhat refined and shortened down. Speaking of which, I would like to thank today's sponsor, which is Skillshare. In case you don't know about Skillshare, it's an online learning community with over 25,000 courses on pretty much everything, from filmmaking to productivity to writing. Now, I've talked a lot about journaling on this channel and how it's a huge part of my everyday life. It's one of the few habits that's really stuck with me, and it's basically how I process my thoughts. And although I've been doing it for years, I recently took the course Creative Writing for All, a 10-day journaling challenge. It's held by Emily Gold, and I did really enjoy it. So whether you're a beginner or not, I think it's always important to be open to different ways of doing things. So if you are interested in checking that out or any of the other thousands of courses that they are offering, Skillshare is giving away 2 free months of premium membership to help you explore your creativity if you click on the link in the description box. And after that, it's only around $10 a month. So thanks again, Skillshare, for sponsoring this video. Alright, thank you all for watching. Please share your experience with dating and relationships in the comment section. What's something that you have learned? You know, who knows, perhaps you sharing your story will help someone else. And after all, that's what all of this is for. And thank you all so much for helping each other out in the comments and for being so supportive to one another. It's really great to see, and I'm just so grateful for this community. All right, I will see you in the comment section.